Russia is stepping up emergency measures in Iran as tensions in the region continue to rise. According to Russia's state nuclear corporation, Rosatom, an additional 163 staff members have been evacuated from the Bushehr nuclear power plant. That brings the number of remaining Russian personnel at the site reportedly to around 300, though officials say more evacuations are likely in the coming days. The Bushehr facility, built by Russia, is Iran's only operational nuclear power plant and a critical piece of the country's energy infrastructure. Rosatom has also been working on expanding the site with additional reactor units, but construction has now been suspended following the outbreak of the ongoing conflict involving the United States and Israel. As the situation escalates, concerns are growing over the safety of nuclear facilities in the region. The Kremlin has issued a strong warning to Washington, urging the United States to avoid any strikes on Iran's nuclear sites, particularly Bushehr. Russian officials say any such attack could have catastrophic consequences, not just for the region, but potentially on a global scale. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov described the possibility of strikes on nuclear infrastructure as extremely dangerous, warning that it could lead to what he called irreparable consequences. He added that Moscow has already sent clear signals to the United States, stressing the risks involved. The warning underscores rising fears of a broader escalation, where military action could intersect with nuclear safety, dramatically increasing the stakes of the conflict.
Bushehr is a nuclear facility which is under the control of the UN, under the control of the IAEA. Russia is in constant dialogue with the IAEA. You know that Rosatom's head Likhachev has already repeatedly made very, very alarming statements concerning the strikes that have already been carried out. Well, and of course this poses a very significant threat to security if this trend is allowed to continue. Naturally, the appropriate signals are being conveyed to the American side as well. We consider the launching of strikes, the launching of attacks against nuclear facilities, potentially exceedingly dangerous and fraught with possibly even truly irreparable consequences. Therefore, the Russian side, maintaining an extremely responsible position on this matter, has repeatedly voiced its serious concerns.
We believe that the situation should...
As early as yesterday, we should have transitioned to a mode of political diplomatic settlement. This is the only thing that can effectively contribute to the de-escalation of that catastrophically tense situation that has developed now in the region.
A flash of destruction, a near miss that could have changed everything. High-resolution imagery now reveals the chilling aftermath of a projectile striking dangerously close to Iran's Bushehr nuclear power reactor. The images, reportedly taken on March 18th, show the devastating impact just 350 meters from the facility's heart. Experts say the debris points north, far from the Persian Gulf, raising urgent questions about the origin of the weapon. David Albright, founder of the Institute for Science and International Security, added Iran to a growing list of potential actors alongside Israel and the United States, though he cautioned an Iranian strike may have been inadvertent. Meanwhile, calls grow louder from global authorities, including IAEA chief Rafael Grossi, urging restraint, open communication with Russia, and careful avoidance of nuclear targets. The world watches and waits as tensions teeter on the edge of escalation. The Bushehr nuclear power plant, built by Russia's Rosatom, has been operational since 2011. It is a 1,000 megawatt Russian-designed pressurized water reactor with expansion projects already underway. Following the March 18th incident, Russia called for a safety zone to prevent catastrophe, citing significant nuclear materials on site. Earlier, on March 18th, the CEO of Rosatom, a Russian state nuclear energy corporation, slammed what he called the first instance of a direct shelling of the station's territory, warning that it set a dangerous precedent.
This marks the first instance of direct shelling of the station's territory. The projectile exploded, causing damage to one of the buildings. It has no relation to the nuclear cycle. It's part of the meteorological complex, but a dangerous precedent has been set. In fact, probably the first, well, certainly the first in this conflict, and probably the first direct shelling of a nuclear power plant's territory in literally at a distance of about 150 to 200 meters from of the reactor hall of an active nuclear reactor that is currently operating at full power. This is unacceptable. And of course, we appeal to all sides, to all parties involved in the conflict, to prevent anything like this from happening again in the future. Well, first, to ensure the equipment is supervised, because the second unit is in such an active construction phase, and much has been done on the third, so the equipment already on site must be supervised.
The International Atomic Energy Agency on March 18th said it had been informed by Iranian authorities about the incident at the country's only operational nuclear facility. The Vienna-based agency stated on social media that there was no damage to the plant or injuries to staff reported. Earlier, on March 18th, the Russian Foreign Ministry blamed the US and Israel for the incident.
We unequivocally condemn the irresponsible try by Tnima Kaklimio utterly unacceptable missile attack carried out against the inner perimeter of the Bushehr nuclear power station, mere meters from an operational power unit. We have repeatedly warned Israel and the United States of America, who continue their aggressive military campaign against the Islamic Republic, about the categorical unacceptability of creating threats to the life and health of numerous Russian citizens remaining on site to constitute the personnel of the nuclear power plant.
Despite multiple claims and conflicting accounts from Tehran and Moscow, neither Iran nor Russia has released any images of the damage, and crucially, both have stopped short of reporting any release of nuclear material from the incident near the Bushehr facility, underscoring the uncertainty and the stakes at play.
Iran allegedly targeted Dimona and Negev Nuclear Research Center as a tit-for-tat to an earlier attack near Bushehr nuclear power plant. The claim was made by pro-IRGC accounts after a projectile targeted an area near Iran's Bushehr nuclear power plant. However, it caused no damage or injuries, Iran told the International Atomic Energy Agency. The IAEA has been informed by Iran that a projectile hit the premises of the Bushehr NPP on Tuesday evening. No damage to the plant or injuries to staff reported, the UN nuclear watchdog said on X. The strike came in the third week of the US-Israeli war on Iran. IAEA Chief Rafael Grossi reiterated his call for maximum restraint during the conflict to avoid the risk of a nuclear accident. Iran's Atomic Energy Organization confirmed the strike earlier in the day, with the country's Tasnim news agency saying the projectile hit the vicinity of the nuclear power plant in the port city of Bushehr at around 7 p.m. local time Tuesday. Rosatom, Russia's state nuclear energy corporation, condemned the strike on Tuesday, adding that radiation levels around the plant, whose construction was started by a German company in the 1970s and later completed by Russia, were normal.